My name's Sophie, Sophie Leo. I'm from Belfast in Northern Ireland and I work here at Exposure. So I'm half Irish and half Chinese Malaysian. Born and bred in Belfast.
What do you identify as?
Probably, I definitely would still say mixed, but probably more Irish, just purely because of where I grew up. And yeah, I was always a bit torn, but I'd say primarily, if someone asked me what's your nationality, I would say Irish. And then maybe I'd go into more detail after that. But when I'm looking at a form, it's a bit like, oh my god, what am I going to pick? But and especially in Northern Ireland, which I don't know, you probably do know, but it's very divided anyway. So everyone's kind of struggling for an identity in Northern Ireland. Yeah, just because they're either British or Irish. To grow up in that, so I'm already struggling for identity, and then but yeah, as a kid probably more Irish, but I think maybe as I'm getting older, maybe a bit more on my Asian side. I kind of want to talk about it a bit more, and I'm not. I think as a kid you're just programmed to try and blend in, and
that's true.
That's kind of. I never was ashamed of it or hiding it or anything like that, but I really wasn't shouting about it as much as I would be now. The first time I went to Malaysia though, I definitely was a bit freaked out.
Why?
I don't know, I think it was a big trip. Yeah, 4 kids in our family and then my mum and dad, and it was I think there was a lot of expectation and a lot of this is going to be amazing, and then I got there and I was a bit oh my god, this is so different to anything I've ever. Massive culture shock, huge. And I remember just thinking, get me home right now. Yeah, honestly, for the first few days, I really strongly remember that. And it was the food, it was people meeting all these family members I've never met before. I haven't speak any Cantonese, which is bad, but they all speak pretty good English. But again, there's that barrier, and I just remember thinking, oh my god, this is hell. But yeah, after about a week, I was oh, this is cool. But yeah, I mean, I've been back multiple times since. Okay. It's funny because even when you go over there, you think I'm going to fit in there, and then you don't, because you don't really fit in really anywhere. People over there think I look really Caucasian. Okay. Yeah, which is funny. Mm-hmm. I never hear people think I look really Asian. So, and then people stare at my mum and dad because they're kind of not really. It's funny because people are almost used to seeing white men with Asian women, but maybe not the other way around. So my dad's Asian, my mum's white, and that was kind of more unusual. Yeah, I remember my mum said back when we were kids, someone came up to her in the supermarket and said oh, did you adopt these kids from the Philippines or something really and she was no, they're mine. My little sister, when she was younger, she definitely, I think, didn't know that she was mixed race. It was quite funny, whenever we were in Malaysia on holidays, and she was why are all these people, why do they all stare at me, and why are they all Chinese? And I'm because we're in Malaysia, there's Chinese people here, have you not seen what Dad looks like? And she's Dad's not Chinese. And I'm yes he is. She didn't, I don't know, she's just so used to seeing him at home in our environment. He doesn't even look any different to her than people at home, and she couldn't connect the two. It was really funny. She's got her head around it now, obviously, but just when she was a kid, she was whoa, what is happening?
Do you feel that you are left out of the mixed race community as being Asian mixed?
As opposed to black mixed? I know, I only realised this moving to London, that people use that term kind of predominantly for mixed black and white. So yeah, it took me a while to sort of get my head around that, because at home it was very much it just covers anyone. So yeah, I never really felt left out or yeah, it's just something that I sort of have to clarify a bit more here in London. But yeah, I don't think so.
What do you think are the benefits of being biracial?
Just generally, you're more open to other cultures, you're just a bit more open-minded. Just feeling you have something that's a bit interesting about you. It's kind of a nice thing. Again, something I maybe wasn't that happy with when I was younger, but I am now. And at least people remember you a little bit more. And yeah, I think it just gives you a different perspective and outlook on things. And you're always curious and keen to see the world and embrace newness, basically.
Yeah. And do you think it has any negative aspects?
Yeah, I mean, it's just that struggle of like, yeah, where do I fit in, and craving, feeling that what your friends feel of. I remember feeling resentful of, you know, why am I different? And I just wanted what they all had, but I'd say that's, yeah, it's not an issue anymore. So,
you grow out of it.
yeah, you grow out of it, and yeah, you realise that positives definitely outweigh the negatives. Taking my family as an example, like when my parents got together, that was like really controversial. It was like total nightmare for my grandparents at the time. They were like, "What's happening?" But to see the difference that all these years have made, and they've realised that, you know, nothing bad's come out of it, and to see their opinions, you know, the older generation's opinions change over all this time, like. So yeah, the more this happens, the more racism will die. Basically, yeah.
So last question, what's your advice to a young mixed race girl?
Find out as much about your culture and background as you can. Be interested in it. Try not to be resentful towards it, even though sometimes that's hard. Yeah, find channels and outlets. Something like this would have been great back when I was a teenager, and like, you're so young and impressionable then. It would have been. And yeah, you're so insecure then as well, and it just would have been nice to have something to read or look at or watch that you could feel like, oh, that's me, and I really identify with that.